You know, a lot of people have asked me, how come we don't do more shows in Virginia? And we hunt here as much as we can, but we don't always come away with trophy buck footage.
We're not used to seeing deer like that in Virginia. That's a big buck in Virginia. I'm proud of him, I love it. That's a good start to the Virginia bow season right there, buddy. We've been having a rough time.
There are a lot of giant slammer trophy bucks in Virginia, no doubt. But if you live where I live and you hunt the land I do, those big bucks are few and far between.
It's beautiful. There's some big bucks here, but definitely in Central Virginia, the hunting is tough, man. But that makes it all better when you smoke a big buck or you shoot a doe.
You know, you might go all season and maybe get lucky enough to kill one big buck.
Keith's in a different tree. I guarantee you I was shaking his tree too. That's what it's all about right there, man.
So as far as building a consistent couple episodes on it every year, it's pretty tough.
Holy moly.
That's not to say we're not gonna hunt in Virginia, because we hunt here every year. Coming home is like a vacation for us. When we get off the road, my producer Josh and I really just kind of get back in touch with our families a little bit, spend a little time with them.
Opening day, and since I'm a mom and I never or hardly ever get to hunt, I'm shooting the very first deer that comes out. Let's get going.
Maybe I should be like, I got an itch to kill a deer and I'm ready to scratch it.
And also get back in touch with some of our old hunting buddies that we grew up hunting with.
Just a man right here, Keith Jones.
Those moments that you get to spend with them in the woods are way more valuable, you know, than any giant deer you could kill. So a lot of our acquaintances and some of our close friends have gotten into filming a little bit. So we do have some amateur camera guys stepping up, and they've been turning in some pretty good footage. What we have done with the footage that we've gathered over the last couple years is we've made an action-packed show today. I'm not even gonna get to run my mouth that much.
I gotta be honest with you, if a doe comes by, I might have to eat her liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
One thing we have been blessed with on the show, we've always had access to great original music. You know, the obvious one is my buddy Zach from the Zach Brown Band, and everybody under his Southern Ground record label, like Blackberry Smoke. We use them obviously a lot.
Hey, we're Blackberry Smoke, and you're watching Red Arrow TV on the Outdoor Channel.
And everybody on Southern Ground Records is just phenomenal. But we've also been blessed to have a bunch of our friends that play in local bands.
I've had the privilege of working with some great bands like the Zach Brown Band, Blackberry Smoke, but one of my most favorite bands in the world is right here tonight. Y'all give it up for Everwild.
This is Daniel Nichols from the band Everwild, and you're watching Red Arrow TV.
You know, Dan and Sean from Everwild are pretty big hunters too. So whenever we come off the road, we try to catch up with them on a hunt. Our producer Josh has got a good Antler King food plot right outside his back door, and he invited Dan over to the house. He'd been seeing like 15 does out in the field, so it was going to be a good opportunity for them to get out there and smack one.
She came over here and just crashed. Hey, look right there. Look right there, didn't you? Hard to make that field. Yeah, buddy. She turned that little bit right there to the shoulder. Hot dog. Adds meat to the freezer is always good. Feed the family. That's what it's all about.
You know, Virginia deer hunting, I'm gonna be honest, they can get pretty boring sometimes. And it's not uncommon for people of the Commonwealth to turn a deer hunt into a squirrel hunt. And because of our fall turkey season, another thing a Virginia deer hunt can turn into is a turkey hunt. This hunt right here reminded me of when I was a kid. They were on Josh's property in an old, wooden built tree stand. It was more like a tree house. And it just kind of reminded me of how I used to hunt when I was a kid.
Just picked this thing up 2 days ago. Shot it for about 15 minutes yesterday, got sighted in. And then the first animal that comes out, we just smoked it up. Me likey. First time with a crossbow and first kill on a turkey, so that's a win-win in my book, definitely.
Now our buddies John and Andy, who are some local farmers by trade, they have gotten into the filming, and they're doing a pretty good job with it too. On this particular hunt, they go out to defend their corn crop and their soybean crop from the does. They were going to shoot a bunch of does was their plan, but something entirely different strolls up to their tree stand. This is rare, I'm telling you now. I get trail camera pictures of bears, and there's bears around, no question about it. But this is still cool, man. You don't see this every day. Shoot, I had never seen it during bow season.
That's the first bear I've ever seen one. That's called revenge. That thing would eat my corn all summer. Virginia bear down, baby. Certainly not the biggest in the world, but that's a cool trophy right here in our own backyard. I know nothing about bears other than this is a dead one, and that was a fun hunt.
One of our buddies that's really gotten into the filming thing back home is our buddy Adam. And he had a deer on the wild game cam that is all messed up on one side, and he was gonna try to whack him down and just get him out of the gene pool. Adam goes in there first day, here comes the buck that he'd had all these pictures of. He knew right where he was gonna be. The sucker strolled right in.
Yeah, you wonder what happened where your heart must have jumped the track. You put your left hand in the wind and you hope you get some kissing back.
It's the first day of gun season in Virginia. Yeah, baby.
You know, they reviewed the footage and looked at this deer, and he was definitely hitting the liver, so definitely a mortal wound, but best to be safe and leave him overnight and do the recovery the next day.
We had to come back Sunday for him, but this is the management buck that we wanted. We had noticed on the footage he shot just a gnarly tumor on his chest. He didn't have that in the earlier in the fall when we had caught him on camera, but left side here is all gnarly. Just happy as could be. We found him this morning. The blood trail was great, but yesterday this one sealed the deal.
Well, that management buck was a great deer, no doubt. But this year, Adam has been getting some trail camera pictures of some true giants for this area.
We had a good Saturday, which is probably 3 days ago, and a lot of sleepless nights since. Just wanting to get back in the stand since rut's on. Man, we're excited. We're gonna settle back down in. It's about 2:30. Jeff, you want him? You want him?
Adam is pulling off right now an advanced move for hunters. It's the double fist pump. Standpot City. Give him a second, folks.
I'm about to follow this tree, big. I love you, man. You're my new best friend. Yeah, baby. Look at that. Tonight was just an amazing night and activity. We had 3 or 4 different bucks move through before this one, and it all started about 3:30. We were in the stand about 2:30, and it was just action nonstop. We had another nice 8 come in before this one. We've been getting frustrated. We've gotten rewarded, but not quite as much as tonight. And we're in eastern Central Virginia, and this is the property I call the Mecca, and this is the reason.
Well, that covers hunting with friends from back home, and now it's time to take some of our family members out. You know, this year I took a couple of first-time bow hunters out. My mom was one of them.
This is, ladies and gentlemen, the first time I've ever seen a person wear a ski mask when it was 90 degrees in Virginia, opening day of bow season.
It's gonna be good. Perfect.
Why you got a ski mask on?
So the deer won't see me in the
What are you
blind.
gonna do when you have to shoot your bow?
Well, we'll see. I might move it down. I might just leave it on.
Mom, I love you, but if you can't find the blind that you've literally driven by 100 times on the farm,
she's the first and only person to hang a trail marker inside of a blind.
you can see it from the house, and you couldn't find that in the dark. That's pretty bad.
Just in case we get separated.
I also got to take my oldest daughter, Addie, out for her first ever bow hunt. We took the Barnett crossbow. That's so the deer can't smell you.
Addison is my 6-year-old daughter. She is in 1st grade. This is her first time really deer hunting, and we better get an arrow in that crossbow. What if one came out right now? We would not be ready. So I'm gonna stop talking now because we don't want to scare the deer away. But me and Addie don't care if we see a deer or not, do we? It's just fun to come out here, huh?
Well, I pretty much struck out during Virginia's bow season, and I'm packing to go to Iowa. I get up the morning we're supposed to leave. I'm sitting in my kitchen drinking coffee, and I see a group of bucks at the end of my field. Now this is the same group of bucks that I've been getting on my trail cameras pretty regular. This was gonna be the last opportunity I probably had to hunt this deer all season. I grabbed the old 270 and we went to sneaking down the edge of my land.
Jeff and I are supposed to be in the truck heading to Iowa right now. That's my neighbor. But there's 3 big bucks in my backfield. It's gun season in Virginia.
Well, you know, on this stalk, the good thing about being a redneck is you got plenty of targets and obstacles and stuff in your backyard to hide behind. The very coolest thing about this hunt is we had woke up so early to get ready to go to Iowa that I shot this deer, walked back to the house, and my kids were still asleep. They got all dressed and ready and got them on the blood trail.
It's like a violent Easter egg hunt.
It was, like I said, like a violent Easter egg hunt.
See how it's got bubbles in it?
Oh, there!
Look at here. Man, I hope you're getting close.
Oh, look
at all that.
They had gotten so focused on following this blood that they didn't realize they were within 10 yards of this buck.
I looked up!
You found him, didn't you? Man.
Look at that! This is rough.
Being on the road and hunting giant deer and doing stuff like that is a whole lot of fun, and we enjoy it, we love it. We get a lot of satisfaction from doing that, but it doesn't seem like it can compare to being on your own land with your kids and your family.
How cool is that? Look at that deer.
Daddy.
That's old Splinter. That's the one we got the pictures of.
Oh,
big old body deer, man.
You know, whether we get a TV show out of the hunts we do at home is kind of immaterial, because it's just about being surrounded by your family, out in God's creation, enjoying it, respecting nature the way it was intended to be.
He's a cool deer, man. He's a deer I've been watching all season, really, with my wild game cams, just waiting on the time for it to be right to hunt him, and when we're actually home. Had the girls on the recovery this morning before Addison had to go to school. That was pretty cool, but he'd be a call buck most places, but one man's trash is another man's treasure. He's a trophy to me, so I'm glad to have him. He's got a little Virginia drop time right there, buddy.
You know, I think Bill Jordan, it's almost become cliche, but it's the truth, man. He hit it right on the head when he said family, friends, and the outdoors, man. That's what matters. And if you go a step further and put God before all of that, you're gonna be on the right track, I'm here to tell you. And that's the whole deal when we come home, man.